Welcome to Headwreckas presents King TV with your host D Will, produced by the homies at CLE. And this is a weekly show where we're gonna keep it real 100% of the time, and trying to bring people together in the name of love. Yes, sir.
You can't believe everything you see on the TV. You can't believe everything you read in a magazine. You can't believe all the bullshit on the internet.
Welcome back to King TV with your host D Willa. This week we're gonna talk about the big news that happened last week in Houston, and I don't know if you heard about it, but Houston voted down a Proposition 1, which was a law that protected the LGTB community. I always mess it up, from getting discriminated upon in Houston. It's I think there's a federal law for like race and gender, but not really sexual preference type of deal, I guess. So we had that, and we voted on it. Houston voted on it. I sort of live outside of Houston, so I couldn't vote, but they voted on it, and it didn't pass. And people are upset. And the main reason it didn't pass is because our mayor, our mayor put in put into there that a bathroom ordinance that men dressed as women can get into the women's restroom, which really to me means that there will be penises in the women's restroom, and people are sort of weren't having it, and I'm pretty sure that, like usual, the left didn't vote. So, I'm not sure. I haven't looked at the numbers, but I'm pretty sure people didn't come out to vote for it, and then they were talking shit the next day, even though they didn't vote, which most liberals do. But, and also just the scare tactic that the right was able to push on people about the bathrooms. Now, me personally, I understand not maybe the fear, not the fear, but the thinking of somebody who doesn't want a man dressed as a woman in the women's bathroom. That sort of freaks me out, and just because I have a daughter, and I understand that the women's restrooms are stalls, so you wouldn't see anything, but it's just I don't think we're there yet as a society, as an American society, to have unisex restrooms. We're not there yet, and this is what this would be. This is basically saying that the bathrooms are unisex, and I don't agree with that. I think that penises should pee with penises and vaginas with vaginas. So, this has nothing to do with me being transphobic, which I probably am a little bit, like, not maybe not transphobic, but trans aware, I guess you might want to say. I don't know how you would say it, but if I see a transgender that's not like 100% gone through it and looks like a woman, like the ladies with the 5 o'clock shadows and their big, huge, look like a man, I'm gonna sort of freak out about that. I'm not gonna treat them any differently, but in my mind, I'm gonna think that this is a little weird, and I hope that doesn't come off as me being against transgender people or any kind of people. It's just, I'm just gonna keep it real with you. And so having, this discussion, and then having the take that I do, people will say that you're transphobic, or they would try to compare it to the 1960s and the civil rights movement. This is not the same, because black people weren't allowed to do things back then, and they were fighting for their rights. This isn't a right, because you can go pee. We weren't saying that transgenders cannot go pee. They can go pee. They just need to pee. If they have a penis, they need to pee with the other penises, and vice versa. That's it. And I don't understand how that's such a crazy idea. And if you're a transgender and you really feel, I feel that you and you really want to use the women's restroom, you need to go all the way through with the surgery. You need to be a post-op transgender. All post-op transgenders can go to where they want to go, not to go to where they want to go. If they cut off their penis, they can go pee in the women's restroom. And I mean, I feel that's a right that you've earned. You've got to earn that right to pee in the women's restroom as a man. And the only way you can earn that right is by cutting your penis off. So I hope this didn't offend too many people, but I just wanted to get that out there. It's not like it was that big of a deal. And really, I don't think your mayor wanted to pass this law because she could have easily just took this little ordinance out, the access ordinance. She could have took that out, and I'm 100% sure that the thing would have passed because Houston isn't against transgenders or the LGTB community. Is that right? LGBT community. Because our mayor is gay. We got a gay woman. She's sort of like a man. Looks almost like a tranny, sort of. So it doesn't really even matter. She could have took that off. It would have been all good. And also, if the liberals would have came out and voted, it might have passed anyway. So there's a lot of people that cried the day after that didn't vote. So it is what it is. Maybe next time. So y'all vote, and maybe y'all wouldn't be crying this week. So that's what I want to say about that. Real quick before we take a break, I want to talk about this guy Ben Carson, his latest shenanigans. I think he is ahead in the Republican leaderboard, I'll call it. He's beating Donald Trump now, and it seems like the crazier he gets, the dumber the stuff he says, the more that the right loves him. This week he said that Joseph from the Bible. I am a Christian, so I do believe in Joseph, but he says that Joseph built the pyramids to store grain. This is what a doctor said. A doctor said Joseph from the Bible built the pyramids in Egypt to store grain. That's got to be one of the dumbest things I've ever heard in my life. And I don't understand how this guy's a doctor. That's crazy to me. It's we've learned about this our whole lives. Everybody knows who built the pyramids. The pharaohs and the slaves built the pyramids a long time ago. So, but Ben Carson said some dumb stuff like that. Said he read it in the Bible or something like that, and his ratings just get higher and higher. Just letting you know how crazy we are these days. What we got to look forward to. But yeah, I just want to leave it like that. Let's take a quick break. You're watching King TV. We'll be right back.
You can't believe everything you read.